Okay, so let's just settle into a nice, comfortable position. Marion just wrote and said she wasn't coming. And I suspect people are, Michael, you said preparing for the initiation? Some
Well,
people? Okay.
Shayla's already in Santa Fe. Barbara's in Santa Fe. I'm going tomorrow. So yeah,
Oh, okay. So some people I might be traveling, something. Anyway, you're very fortunate. All right. It's great to hear. And let's just, so it's, when is it? Tomorrow? Tomorrow and Sunday, which normally 3 days.
It
It's
start,
the
well, it
blind
starts
date they're
Friday
doing.
evening and then goes Saturday and Sunday.
So it started tonight,
No, tomorrow's Friday.
tomorrow. Oh, tomorrow's Friday. Oh, yeah. Okay. So will we expect anybody in the Zoom on Friday? Can you guys host it or not? You'll be there, Michael. All right. Okay. All right.
I'll host.
But thank you, because there will be people probably coming who aren't doing the initiation. So, all right, great. So let's just settle into a nice, comfortable seated posture and just try and bring your mind to the same place your body is. Just this. And just if you have your feet on the floor, just feel the sensation of whatever surface it is on the soles of your feet. And imagine your spine is a string of pearls of light that stretches from the base all the way up through the crown of the head and beyond. And lengthen your spine, putting some space in between those vertebrae. Shoulders aligned with the hips and ears as much as you can, aligned with your shoulders. And notice the sensation of the air as you inhale and exhale. And then just be aware of any sounds in your environment. So I have some very active birds here. I think they're nesting. They're very chatty in the morning and in the evenings. So I don't know if you can hear them. So whatever sounds are in your environment, just allow your conscious mind to take it in, to go and explore, and then, quite deliberately allow those sounds to kind of go out of focus, drift into the background, and then allow your mind to come back to the same place your body is. And then be aware of the thoughts that are arising in the mind. And try and put some space in between the thoughts, trying not to follow them with the mind and trying not to follow the story. And then bring to mind all the people of your life, your loved ones, these ones you hold very close to your heart, ones you don't like so much, and just strangers, remembering they can all change place at any time. And also keeping in mind that they're actually all equal in their wish to be happy, their wish to be free from suffering, and having this extraordinary capacity for Buddhahood. So I think we'll do this meditation this evening for all these people of our life, and by extension, all sentient beings. So we think there is no negativity that can't be purified. And remembering this purification process is basically a psychological one. And we create negativity with our mind, so equally we can change it by creating positivity instead. So we start with the power of regret and sincerely regret from the depths of your heart anything you have done to harm any living being in this day, in this life, and in all of our past lives, and think of specific actions of both your body and your speech, and then in general regret all. And the reason to regret is based on this logic of karma. We experience everything due to our past karma, our past actions. And so having harmed others, we ourselves will necessarily experience suffering in the future. And we cannot bear the thought of any future suffering that we will experience. We know from our present suffering, we don't want any more. So logically, it makes sense to remove the karmic seeds before they ripen as future suffering for us. So think like this. I regret from the depths of my heart having harmed others with my body and my speech, having broken my vows because I do not want the future suffering. I'm sick of this suffering, and also regret any anger, attachment, and the rest that are the cause of why we harm others. And then think again, I'm sick of this suffering. And then think, what can I do about it? Whom can I turn to? So here we come to the power of reliance. So we rely upon this Buddha Vajrasattva, who we don't see as a higher power or a god, but rather as a doctor, that we can rely upon his methods to help us. So you imagine Vajrasattva above the crown of your head. You can also imagine this is your teacher manifesting in this form for your benefit. And he's made a radiant, blissful white light, sitting cross-legged on a white lotus and a moon cushion. And he has a beautiful, radiant face. His eyes are long and peaceful and full of love and compassion for you and all those people of your life. And he has a sweet red mouth. His hair is black and held up in a top knot. His arms are crossed at his heart, the left underneath the right. The left is holding a bell representing wisdom, and the right is holding a vajra, which represents the indestructibility of compassion. And their being crossed represents the union of these two. And this symbolizes enlightenment itself, the development of infinite wisdom and infinite compassion. To the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha, I go for refuge until I'm enlightened. By this practice of meditating on Guru Vajrasattva, may I reach Buddhahood so as to benefit all sentient beings. So in order to develop compassion, we need to rely upon other beings, the very beings we have harmed and those who have harmed us, by developing compassion for them. So think particularly of someone you may have harmed recently and in the past, and then in general, all beings we have ever harmed since beginningless time. Then remember those who have harmed you and have compassion for them, because the harm they've caused you is going to result in suffering. So make a strong aspiration to do this practice of purification for the sake of all these beings, and think, I must purify for their sake. And now we come to the power of the remedy, and this is the medicine, doing the practice of purification. And we start with the body, and Vajrasattva very compassionately sends powerful white nectar, like coming out of a hose, quite forcefully from his heart, and it arcs around and enters your crown and pours into your entire body, filling you completely. And it keeps pouring into you until it forces out of your lower orifices all the harm you have ever done to any living being with your body in the form of inky liquid. And this pours out of you and disappears into space, not one atom left as we recite the mantra. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dita meboa sutukaya meboa supokaya meboa anarakta meboa sawasidi mimpiyata sawa kama sita me sitam shriam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tatagata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sata a humpe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dita meboa sutukaya meboa supokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawasidi mimpiyata sawa kama sita me sitam shriam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tatagata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sata a humpe. And Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dita meboa sutukaya meboa supokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawasidi mimpiyata sawa kama sita me sitam shriam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tatagata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sata a humpe. And Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dita meboa sutukaya meboa supokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawasidi mimpiyata sawa kama sita me sitam shriam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tatagata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sata a humpe. And Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dita meboa sutukaya meboa supokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawasidi mimpiyata sawa kama sita me sitam shriam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tatagata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sata a humpe. And Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dita meboa sutukaya meboa supokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawasidi mimpiyata sawa kama sita me sitam shriam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tatagata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sata a humpe. And Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dita meboa sutukaya meboa supokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawasidi mimpiyata sawa kama sita me sitam shriam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tatagata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sata a hum pe. So be delighted that all the harm you have ever done to any sentient being with your body is now completely purified, and think that there's no way you could do anything but benefit others now with your body. And next is the purification of our speech, and Vajrasattva very happily sends powerful nectar from his heart chakra. It arcs around and forcefully enters your crown and fills your entire body, this time forcing up to the top of your body all the negativity of your speech, and this overflows and disappears into space, not one atom left. So just imagine all the gossip and the harsh speech and the useless speech and lying and talking about others behind their backs. All of this is purified by this powerful nectar filling you as we recite the mantra. Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinapatita Dita Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpiyatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tatagata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hompe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinapatita Dita Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpiyatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tatagata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hompe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinapatita Dita Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpiyatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tatagata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hompe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinapatita Dita Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpiyatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tatagata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hompe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinapatita Dita Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpiyatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tatagata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hompe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinapatita Dita Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpiyatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tatagata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hompe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinapatita Dita Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpiyatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tatagata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hompe. So again, feel so happy that your speech is now completely purified, and imagine it's not possible to do anything but benefit others now with your speech. And next is the purification of our mind, and Vajrasattva very compassionately sends powerful beams of light from his heart chakra, and this arcs around and enters your crown and fills your entire being. So just imagine when you walk into a pitch black room and you flick on the switch, and the light that comes instantly dispels the darkness. So now imagine all the attachment and neediness and anger and depression, resentment, jealousy, bitterness, grudges, all of this is instantly dispelled, not one atom left as we recite the mantra. Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinapatita Dita Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpiyatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tatagata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hompe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinapatita Dita Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpiyatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tatagata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hompe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinapatita Dita Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpiyatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tatagata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hompe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinapatita Dita Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpiyatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tatagata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hompe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinapatita Dita Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anorakta me boa sawa sidi mimpi yatta sawa kama sita me sitam shiyam guru hum ha ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya satra a humpe vajrasafa samaya manupalaya vajrasafa dina patita dida me boa situkaya me boa sipokaya me boa Anorakta me boa sawa sidi mimpi yatta sawa kama sita me sitam shiyam guru hum ha ho bhagavan Sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya satra a humpe. Vajrasafa samaya manupalaya vajrasafa dina patita dida meboa situkaya meboa sipokaya meboa anorakta meboa sawa sidi mimpi yatta sawa kama sita me sitam shiyam kuru hum ha ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya satra a humpe. So again, be delighted that all your delusions, which are the source of all of our own suffering and the cause of why we harm others with our body and our speech, are totally purified. And think that there's no space in your heart now for anything other than love and kindness and forgiveness and wisdom and bliss and compassion. And next is the purification of even the imprints of negativity of the body, speech, and mind. And this time, imagine Vajrasattva very happily sends light and nectar. It fills you completely and eradicates even the subtlest imprints of negative energy. So we're working in a very kind of deep level here. It's just imprints, and it's energy. It's not the actual delusion. It's what's left behind. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya vajrasattva dina patita dida meboa situkaya meboa sipokaya meboa anorakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yatta sawa kama sita me sitam shiyam kuru hum ha ho bhagavan sawa tatagata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sata a humpe vajrasattva samaya manupalaya vajrasattva dina patita dida meboa situkaya meboa sipokaya meboa Anorakta meboa sawa sidi mimpi yatta sawa kama sita me sitam shiyam kuru hum ha ho bhagavan sawa tatagata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya satra a humpe vajrasattva samaya manupalaya vajrasattva dina patita dida meboa situkaya meboa sipokaya meboa Anorakta meboa sawa sidi mimpi yatta sawa kama sita me sitam shiyam kuru hum ha ho bhagavan sawa tatagata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya satra a humpe vajrasattva samaya manupalaya vajrasattva dina patita dida meboa situkaya meboa sipokaya meboa anorakta meboa sawa sidi mimpi yatta sawa kama sita me sitam shiyam kuru hum ha ho bhagavan sawa tatagata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya satra a humpe vajrasattva samaya manupalaya vajrasattva dina patita dida meboa situkaya meboa sipokaya meboa anorakta meboa sawa sidi mimpi yatta sawa kama sita me sitam shiyam kuru hum ha ho bhagavan sawa tatagata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya satra a humpe vajrasattva samaya manupalaya vajrasattva dina patita dida meboa situkaya meboa sipokaya meboa Anorakta meboa sawa sidi mimpi yatta sawa kama sita me sitam shiyam kuru hum ha ho bhagavan sawa tatagata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya satra a humpe vajrasattva samaya manupalaya vajrasattva dina patita dida meboa situkaya meboa sipokaya meboa Anorakta meboa sawa sidi mimpi yatta sawa kama sita me sitam shiyam kuru hum ha ho bhagavan sawa tatagata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya satra a humpe. So now feel completely purified. There's not one atom of negativity left in your mind stream. Even the subtlest obscurations to your enlightenment have been removed. And now we come to the power of resolve. And this is the fourth step in the process of purification. And it's a really crucial one. And this is this decision we make to not harm with our body and our speech and our mind. And without making this decision, we're just going to keep doing the same old things over and over again, our habit energies. So now rejoice in your incredible effort in coming and doing this practice, even when everyone's got so much on and some of you are all different weird time zones. and particularly the East Coast people. It's very late. So just rejoice in your effort to start with, and then think of something that you'd like to work on. Maybe it's reactivity. Maybe it's negative self-talk. Just promise yourself that you'll do this maybe for, even if you can only do it for 30 seconds, that you're trying to develop an awareness about some of the delusions that kind of lead you to harm yourself and others. And remember, Vajrasattva is delighted with us and wants to merge with your mind, melts into white light, and absorbs into you through your crown and think, my teacher's body, speech, and mind, Vajrasattva's body, speech, and mind, and my own body, speech, and mind are the same. So next, Rinpoche would recommend to meditate on emptiness. In emptiness, there is no I, the creator of negative karma. There is no action of creating negative karma, and there is no negative karma created. So at whatever level you understand emptiness, place your mind there for a little while. We can think of all phenomena as being empty. They do not exist from their own side. We can also think the way things appear to me may not necessarily be the way they actually exist. So let's just dedicate all the merit, all the positive energy you've created doing this practice to all living beings, and think, may all the virtuous karma I've created from doing this practice ripen as my enlightenment for the sake of sentient beings as quickly as possible. So, the more we say those words, even if they're at the beginning, they're just kind of words that we're saying, eventually it starts to kind of filter down into the heart. So it takes a few years, maybe. Just keep saying it over and over again. Eventually something will click. So names of Manjushri: beginningless complexity, devoid, by nature pure reality, in essence unwavering, a speaker of the truth, with speech and actions perfectly aligned, a teacher of the non-dual truth, non-dual, atop reality's most lofty peak, with selflessness his wild lions roar, instilling fear in deer-like misled seekers. With journeys fruitful, traveling everywhere, as swift as thought in all Tathagatas, a victor slayer of foes, triumphant lord, a universal king with forces great. Okay, let's have a strong wish, make a strong wish for His Holiness the Dalai Lama to live long and to be able to continue to teach for long, and then a strong wish for the swift return of Lama Zopa Rinpoche, which is what we're doing those names of Manjushri for, chanting those names of Manjushri for, and then a strong wish for the long life of all of your individual teachers. Okay. Lots of love, everybody.